Hi, my name's Joe and welcome to this review / introduction to DJMAX Respect on PS4. There will be flashing images throughout this video. DJMAX Respect is a Korean PS4 music rhythm game and serves both as a love letter to the series and as a thank you to the passionate fans that helped get it this far. The culmination of a storied PSP franchise, Respect resurrects the portable button-mashing superstar and pays homage to its content-packed career. There are more than 140 songs on the disc, covering DJMAX Portable 1 and 2 and a host of original tracks. There's a wide variety of genres represented here, including K-pop, classical, heavy metal and techno. And whilst not every track is a winner, there's more than enough great ones to make up for that. There aren't any gimmicky instruments, just use your standard DualShock 4 and a selection of buttons to tap along to the rhythm. On Respect's introductory mode, 4B, you'll be using left, up, triangle and circle, and whilst this seems simple, even that setup can get wildly challenging when the difficulty spikes. There's also 5, 6, and 8 button modes to work through. Initially, I was thrown off by the controls and was struggling to wrap my head around the inputs and their on-screen positions. It doesn't feel very intuitive, so I bought a keyboard adapter because that seemed like a much more appropriate input device for such a game. I opted for the Mayflash Max shooter and can attest that it's a cheap and serviceable solution. Best of all, there's no input lag either. And there's an easy-to-use PC application to help you configure the keyboard any way you want. The only problem being that by the time it arrived, I'd already begun to master the controller, and the keyboard conversely felt like a step back, one that my newfound aptitude wasn't willing to take. I haven't used my adapter since. If you look around the various forums, you'll see a lot of people poo-pooing those who use them as casuals. It's undoubtedly a boon, but as long as you don't take your kit online, I can't see why you shouldn't give yourself every advantage. There's a fairly steep learning curve to the game, especially if you're not willing to shell out for additional peripherals. But once you put in the time, you'll begin to uncover the game's hidden tricks. For instance, speeding up certain note charts, which the game allows you to do on the fly, will feel counterintuitive, but will actually help spread out difficult patterns that are otherwise hard to decipher. It also makes slower songs easier to time your inputs to. Tuning your brain to use the differently coloured notes for the top of each section of the pad as landmarks makes it a lot easier to read the charts without thinking about it, and I've had to submit to the almost trance-like state this puts me in when playing. Whilst I've only dabbled with the PSP titles previously, hence why I'm not an 8-button fiend already, I've played enough to notice that the patterns for the pre-existing tracks have been updated and, for the most part, made more intuitive. Once you've gotten used to some of the combos, they just feel so right as your fingers and thumbs dance across the controller to hit every beat. With 4 different button sets and 3 potential difficulties, each track can have up to 12 completely different patterns, which is an absolutely mammoth amount of content considering how many songs are here. But this brings us to Respect's biggest asterisk on the otherwise glowing recommendation. Despite all this content, there's very little structure, and that can translate to a lack of motivation for some players. Respect dumps you into the menu and leaves you to get on with it, and newcomers will likely head to arcade or mission mode, both of which feels like a mistake. Arcade is an anemic affair that will send you to a thanks for playing screen within minutes, whilst mission mode will throw up insurmountable challenges almost instantly. I hit a wall within the hour and turned the game off in frustration. It wasn't until I started spending every waking minute in freestyle mode, making my way through the library of songs and slowly working my way up the multitude of difficulty settings that I truly clicked with the game. Respect charts your progress with 3 milestones: beating a song, max comboing a song, meaning you didn't miss a single note, and finally S-ranking a song, meaning you hit your notes with over 98% accuracy. This last one's a real bastard, but I'm slowly building my collection of S-ranks at the moment, and it's a wildly satisfying accomplishment. This player-driven gameplay won't appeal to some gamers. Chasing high scores and bettering yourself without any sort of direction is a completely different experience to, say, Guitar Hero's carefully curated career mode. It also means that you'll be playing the same song over and over and over. I still catch my girlfriend humming the tune of Waiting for You, which was the hill I chose to die on repeatedly to get better at the game. Here's a comparison of the first time I beat the song compared to one I did yesterday. Missions are a great way of seeing how far you've come. I eventually went back and absolutely decimated that one that stumped me, and the pattern continues. I'd head into a new challenge, fail and proclaim it's impossible, only to come back 10 hours later and comfortably sail through. Here I am beating one where my hit rating had to remain above 93%, a week after I couldn't even beat the songs, let alone ace them.
Yes!
If you need any more motivation, you can head into the comprehensive collection screen, which details every success and failure of your DJMAX life to date, along with offering a huge amount of achievements to chip away at and unlock. Completing these goals, which range from nailing combos to scoring S ranks, will unlock a whole load of goodies, including new songs. The background animations have all been updated in glorious 1080p and 60 frames per second, a huge step up from their portable counterparts, and they're a big reason why Respect is as lively and as fun as it is. Each one tells a tiny little story filled with colourful characters. Whilst the tracks themselves are in no danger of feeling generic or samey, the videos help push that diversity even further, and honestly some of them are works of art. Despite all this praise, however, they do have a tendency to distract you occasionally, be that through violently flashing imagery, questionable storylines, or boobs. The amount of times I've seen the game over screen because Respect gets a little racy is too high to count. There's a host of extra content already, including tracks from Trilogy and Classic A, that one, with promises to bring every DJMAX game's library to Respect. This new title is set to become ridiculously massive. If you can't wait, it's easy enough to grab an English language copy of Respect from the Hong Kong PSN store, along with its DLC. Just grab some credit from PlayAsia, set up an alternate account and you're good to go. That said, the game is currently slated for a first quarter release in the States, which will be a lot simpler if you've got the patience. Either way, I highly recommend this one to both fans of the series and newcomers alike. It's flipping great.